All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. We're doing the 4-hour live stream as long as people want to keep going. We'll go until 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, doing live breakdowns and analysis of the preseason games. I wanted to be done with my NFL document. I'm not quite finished yet, but I'm trying to compile all of the relevant information for every single team, the gematria, the birthday distances, the schedule, the all-time records, and still got a few more divisions to get through with the records, and then I will be finished. But this thing's been a beast. I put hours into this, and I keep thinking I'll be done, but it's just like, oh, I still need more time. So this will be a really helpful guide once the regular season's underway, and should help us pick up on some patterns because we'll be able to look at all of the season information in one place. So anyway, still got a little bit to go on that. It'll be done well before the season begins. Try to have it finished by this weekend. But a lot of you guys, you wanted to see if we could take a stab at the preseason games, and we were able to make two picks off of the Hall of Fame game, and that's because there's history with the Hall of Fame game, so we had some history to work with. With the regular preseason outside of the Hall of Fame game, there's not a lot of history, so I think the best thing to do is we can put our minds together and maybe keep track of what's going on in real time to see if we can get some clues. If you guys do want to call in, it is a good time to call in. I'm taking all calls, all requests, all observations. The number to call in is 509-731-0567. Again, it's 509-731-0567. The game that's most interesting to me today is, well, this Patriots and Lions game's interesting because we have Belichick versus Patricia, who came over from the Patriots. Last year was his first season as a head coach. And then the other game that's jumping out at me, well, we're going to go back and look at this Texans-Packers game. You might recall there was a shooting sometime back, a guy in an Aaron Rodgers jersey, and then J.J. Watt made a donation. We'll look at that. But this game right here, the Broncos and the Seahawks, this was the Super Bowl, February 2nd, 2014, Super Bowl 48. And what's interesting is from the Super Bowl to today's game is exactly a span of 2014 days. So, could be a clue there with that. Caller?
Oh, am I the first one?
Yeah, the first one. What's up, man?
What's happening?
Just,
So yeah, are you decoding any of the games tonight? You decided to hop on preseason, huh?
Well, I just figured we could have a big NFL discussion and analyze what goes on during real time with the games. So that's what I said I would do.
Oh, okay. What happened to the presentation for the season?
Well, that'll still come. We still got plenty of time before the season starts.
Oh, okay. I thought you was doing that. Okay. So yeah, tonight's game, Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. Let me move this fucking car. These people. There's too much noise in the background. So that's a preview of a playoff matchup to come.
Okay,
just putting it out there right now.
You're saying the Bears and the Panthers.
I am.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say which match, which round, but yeah, that's a playoff matchup to come.
Okay.
Could be the NFC title game. Could be, but I ain't gonna say. We'll just wait. The Carolina Panthers got a lot that matches up, as you showed me, with the date numerology, as well as the Gematria of Super Bowl LIV. So I have no doubt that Carolina is going to make a push. All the cat teams, I think I told you, all the cat teams are going to be in there. So
Right, we got the release of the movie Cats and the Lion King. So
yeah. history between, sort of a history between the teams is tied into the coaches through Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera was part of the '85 Bears.
Right.
So the USA Today, I don't know if you heard this. I haven't seen anything. I got a phone call and was told. But the USA Today, their headquarters had an evacuation because there was an active shooter on the scene or whatever, apparently.
Well, not an active shooter. Supposedly someone with a gun. Yeah, that was yesterday's story.
Okay, so yeah. Didn't see anything on the news. I wasn't, I guess, paying close enough attention, but I did hear that. But speaking of USA Today, it was yesterday's paper. I don't have today's paper. It was very, very funny. They had the top 100 teams in NFL history, according to whoever wrote that article. Of course, there's been 100 champions. All the teams on that list weren't champions. Some of those teams, 11 of those teams on that top 100 list were playoff losers. And I mean, some teams didn't even make it to their respective title game. It was very disrespectful. But the top team on the list was the '85 Bears. And as I pointed out to you months ago now, it seems, I've been around, 3 months? It was something on NFL Network where they had the '85 Bears, guys like, what's his name? Mike Singletary, the quarterback, McMahon. They were all at this luncheon, and Mitchell Trubisky dressed up like McMahon in '85, where he had the headband and the '80s gear on or whatever. And McMahon was quoted saying, if they win, the city will love them forever. The city loves the '85 Bears. So it's been a lot of hype surrounding them, and this upcoming season, they're in the 100 season. It's them and the Arizona Cardinals, celebrating that whole 100-year thing. It's funny because the Packers are kind of on that list too. The Packers, I guess, were formed in 1919.
August 11th. Yeah, but it'll only be their 99th season. But yeah, they were formed 100 years ago come Sunday.
Right. And so, yes, a lot surrounding the Bears. And I told you, one of the teams are coming out of that NFC North. I like the Atlanta Falcons as the sleeper team. I want to totally jump off of them now after what I saw in the Hall of Fame game, but they still on that list as potential sleeper teams. But the North is in heavy play. All the teams. I mean, for reasons mentioned by another one of your callers, the Lions. You pointed out the Vikings, the end of their schedule, a lot of prime time, getting matchups. I like them too. Obviously the Bears and then the Packers, they have reloaded. But going back to the Bears, Ron Rivera was part of that '85 Bears team. Trying to think of other connections. But the '85 Bears topped that list of 100 teams in NFL history, according to USA Today and the paper that was released yesterday. Trying to think. Carolina Panthers is 174. Super Bowl LIV is 174. Dayton numerology also lines up with Carolina Panthers. It's the reason why Gerald Deeney, as he goes by with his Twitter handle, he thinks he's pulling a Houdini. Gerald McCoy kind of looks like a cat when you look at certain photos when he smiles. Signed with the Carolina Panthers. He was the major off-season acquisition, if you will. He haggled between the AFC North and the Carolina Panthers. It was kind of like a last-minute type thing with the Carolina Panthers. Kind of like, what Kawhi Leonard did, where he kind of pulled the rug from up under everybody. It's like, everybody was thinking, oh, it's either L.A. or Toronto. And yeah, it was L.A. all right, just not the L.A. you all thought. So, can't remember the Gematria off the top of my head for Gerald McCoy, but, that plays a part too. He's playing his part. Of course, we're not going to see any of these people. We're not going to see the stars in action in preseason, but that's why I just said in my post, it's a foreshadowing, I'm sure others, a lot of your other followers are going to say, well, I like the Jets. It could be the Jets and the Giants, or the Lions and the Patriots. That actually makes sense because if the Patriots were to go back to the Super Bowl, they can only be playing a team from the NFC North if they were to win, which we both know that that's not going to be the case this time around. What else do they have on the docket for today? I'm just thinking of today's games. Let me pull it up here. 1 second. NFL. I've got time to wait on a commercial. I was trying to pull up the odds. They're going to take me through a commercial. I'm going to pull up NFL app. I'm on my phone, so I can't access anything very readily like I can on my computer or iPad. I'm out here in a parking lot. Okay, preseason week 1. Yeah, Jets, Giants. That could technically, be a potential matchup. It says 51st consecutive summer meeting for the two New York franchises. Typically, they have that matchup in week 3 of the preseason. I guess it's a treat to the New Yorkers because you do see starters in week 3. But this year, they have it in week 1. They're doing a lot of these week 3 matchups week 1 for some reason. Colts and the Bills, that can't be a Super Bowl matchup. Eagles, Titans, that can't be. Falcons, Dolphins, that can't be. Patriots, Lions, yeah. Redskins, Browns, yeah. Jaguars, Ravens, no. Texans, Packers, yes. Bears, Panthers, no. Broncos, Seahawks, yes. That's also a Super Bowl rematch. Buccaneers, Steelers, yes. Cardinals, Chargers, yes. Vikings, Saints, no. That's a rematch of the 2009 NFC Championship game. Reeves versus Favre in Favre's final game. Rams, Raiders, yes. Chiefs, Bengals, no. Cowboys, 49ers, no. So that's it. Cowboys, 49ers is, of course, rematches of their glory days in the 90s, late 80s.
They played each other week 1 of the preseason last year, the Cowboys and the 49ers. 49ers won 24-21.
Total of 55 points.
45.
I'm sorry, 45, I'm sorry. Cowboys won. Did they play in San Francisco?
Yeah, last year was in San Francisco.
Okay, just like this year. And that's the highlight game tonight, too. On NFL Network, 9 o'clock. Interesting. So, speaking of the Cowboys, Gil Brandt, who was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, made a bold prediction. He said the Cowboys are primed to win a championship. I think he said this year.
Let's see how it lines up with Jerry Jones. Usually the things with the Cowboys are synced with Jerry Jones pretty well. So
yeah, no doubt Jerry Jones had something to do with Gilbert getting into the Hall of Fame. He worked as a scout. He was, I guess, known in his later years as a beat writer or whatever. But no doubt he was in that office with Jerry Jones, and that had a lot to do with it. That's why he was the one to put the jacket on him.
Well, what's interesting is the Super Bowl is exactly 112 days after Jerry Jones' birthday this year, and Super Bowl is 112.
In what cipher?
Just running the alphabetic order in reverse. Just like last year, the Super Bowl was 112 days after the quarterback for the Rams' birthday.
Oh, okay. Jared Goff.
Yeah. So that is interesting that the Super Bowl is 112 days after Jerry Jones' birthday.
Yeah, it is. I'm just scanning through these matchups. So the Broncos at the Seahawks. I think I'm going to pay attention to that too, because these Super Bowl rematches, they don't always go as they happen. Because even though it did in the Hall of Fame game, where that was a tribute to Super Bowl 33. When the Broncos played they played them every preseason, I believe. The Broncos played the Seahawks after, or the year that the Broncos won the Super Bowl in 2015. They played them. I think the Broncos beat the Seahawks that preseason.
I'll go back and look.
So it'd be interesting to see that matchup, how it goes. The Broncos, I'm sure, have a lot that lines up with them in the Super Bowl. I remember you saying on my show that you wondered if Von Miller would win, Defensive Player of the Year and, another Super Bowl at the same time. He's got a defensive head coach this time around. So, speaking of defensive head coaches, Matt Patricia and Jesus Christ, where's my mind? Bill Belichick, two defensive head coaches, master versus the teacher. I'm sorry, the student, the teacher versus the student. At 7:30, New England at Detroit. Another matchup of defensive disciples, Dan Quinn versus Brian Flores, Atlanta at Miami. Could foreshadow, Atlanta going to Miami. It's their second preseason game. Technically their first, but really their second. They're going to have to count up 5 when it's all said and done. Let's see. The Jets and the Giants is the opposite. Two offensive head coaches. Both, Gase was a head coach prior to on another team, so was Pat Shurmur. But they haven't had much success as head coaches. Especially Pat Shurmur. I remember hearing from a former Jet. He was on Colin Cowherd's show, and he said that he saw nothing but, because Colin Cowherd last year was very big on the Giants, or at least he pretended to be. But when his guest that played for the Jets, I want to say his name was Mo. He's on the other show that comes after with Jason Whitlock too from time to time. They keep the same rotational guys. He came on Colin Cowherd's show, I want to say this time last year, and he said, I don't see anything but losing coming out of New York because of Pat Shurmur. And no doubt, he was right. I don't think Pat Shurmur is a great coach myself. He has talent. He's got probably the best running back in the league now on that team. Daniel Jones is going to be a very good quarterback. You know, there's talk that he's an Eli clone. I'm sure you could tie in the whole biblical significance like you did with the last Super Bowl, Daniel 8. You know, Daniel Jones wears the number 8. Daniel in the Lions Den, I guess, all that good stuff. Let's see. I think we're going to see Daniel Jones at some, if not tonight, definitely at some point. We'll probably see him tonight, in fact. Because I know they ain't going to put Eli out there. So, you know, might as well see, you know, the rookie. They took him with the 6th pick overall, which was the shocker to most people. Them passing on several other, you know, selections, one of which, you know, many, you know, it would have been Dwayne Haskins, who ended up going to Washington with the 16th pick? Was it 10 picks later? And speaking of Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins and the Giants connection, OBJ, I'm sure we won't see him tonight, if at all, during the preseason. Plays now for the Cleveland Browns. A lot of hype surrounding the Cleveland Browns. Whole lot of hype. Prior to that Odell Beckham trade, Cleveland Browns weren't on anybody's radar. Definitely Las Vegas. They were among the long shots. Then they automatically catapulted up into the upper echelon of favorites. And I can't remember seeing such a thing in the entire time that I've been, you know, really paying attention to numbers and odds and handicapping football. Because I remember when Terrell Owens came to the Cincinnati Bengals, and, you know, yeah, it might have been a bunch of fanatics claiming, oh, Bengals going to the Super Bowl, but, you know, Vegas knew what it was. They weren't giving the Bengals a realistic, you know, shot to make the Super Bowl. But for some reason, a team that's, 2 years removed from going 0-16 is now among the favorites with the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots. It's very, very funny to me. But there was word that came out of Vegas, and I know this sounds weird. It's an article, you can probably find it somewhere if you just Google it. Some in Vegas said that they don't even think that the Cleveland Browns would make the playoffs. So I don't know if that's one particular entity in sportsbook, or if it's a handicapper out there, or if it's, I don't know who it is, but something came out of Vegas saying, you know, they don't believe that they're even going to make the playoffs yet. That goes contrary to the number that's put out there by Las Vegas. So, yeah, it's just interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate all the observations.
All right.
All right, man.
You have a good one.
All right. Take care. So I'm just running over the preseason scores from last year and just scanning scores and games and outcomes, looking at if there's any type of consistency with home teams and away teams. 2 years ago, there was a meaningful game, day one of the playoffs. It was the AFC. It was what ended up being the AFC Championship, the Patriots and the Jaguars. But yeah, I've never been able to extract any clear patterns from the preseason. So what I did want to do, though, is go to this one game tonight, because we got a clue for this game in the news stories. This game between the Packers and the Texans. Remember, there was this shooting story hold on, where did I put it? There was this shooting story, a guy in an Aaron Rodgers jersey, and J.J. Watt ended up donating money to the victims, or the victim's family. And the man killed was Mitch Lundgaard, and the guy who shot him was supposedly this guy in the Aaron Rodgers jersey. So there was some connection here with the gematria of the name and the story with Aaron Rodgers. And, you know, they blamed it on a black man. The shooting happened on a date with 59 numerology. What else is there about May 15th? 135th day of the year, like Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so shooting was on the 135th day of the year. So Mitch Lundgaard 135, Aaron Rodgers 135, and let's see. It happened in Appleton, Wisconsin, which is 139 like Green Bay. Oh, hold on. That's the start of the season. So then J.J. Watt donated $10,000 to the victim's family. And the shooting was 88 days before this game on August 8th. 8/8. So what else could it be here? All right, let's look more at this. Let's look more at this game and see if we can figure out where they were going with this pattern. Okay, the Texas coach is Bill O'Brien. Let me see here. Hold on. All right, so one thing that we've observed so far that's worth noting is that Jerry Jones' birthday is 112 days before the Super Bowl this year. Jerry Jones is also 50. It is Super Bowl 50 for the 50th of the modern era. And don't forget, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, his name isn't 50. I take it back. His name's 49 like Dallas. Does have that 131 in his name. Well, Super Bowl's 49 and 131. But it is 112 days from his birthday to the Super Bowl. Okay. Bill O'Brien. Let's get it up here real quick. October 23rd. 2018 to today. 289 days, so to his upcoming birthday is 76 days. And Brian, Texans, Houston, Texas. Who's at home in tonight's game? The Packers are. It's a span of 77 days to his birthday. Green Bay's 77. Packers. Okay. See. I saw some comment about Aaron, or some story about Aaron Rodgers criticizing these joint practices. Colin Coward today was talking about how Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the right type of team attitude. He causes dysfunction. Let's see. I doubt Rodgers will even play tonight. It's 85 degrees. I know that's a Green Bay number I was seeing last year. They won their game with combined 85 points. Is it Green Bay or Green Bay, Wisconsin? Green Bay, Wisconsin's 85, like National Football League. So they mentioned it's 85 degrees in the article. Caller?
Yeah, what's going on, Zach? I called you earlier about that Baltimore.
Right, how they haven't lost. So.
Right. I was saying if you found anything, or could you, I was just going to ask you, could you decode that game like you would regular week one, so I can see the field, so I can start doing it for myself, so I can see how all would you do it, and because I've been doing baseball how you did it, and I've been winning, so, I just want to see your football recipe, because I only been with you for the NBA, you know what I mean? I never seen how you did it in football. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, but if you could just give me a layout.
Sure. So here, we can't do it for the preseason because all the key ingredients are missing. But what it is you want it's very QB driven and team history driven. The coaches sometimes matter, but if you lead with the coaches, you're going to get burned a lot. NFL is very quarterback driven. So what you want to look at is the date numerology, like always.
Is it quarterback like record driven or quarterback gematria driven?
Record driven.
Okay.
Right. So quarterback's going for his 47th win all time, and you got a 47 date numerology. That's a good sign. If he's going against an opponent that equals 47 too, I mean, that's going to be a real strong read. So
right.
You want to look at the team. It's pretty much like what we do with baseball. It's just there's less moving parts because it almost always comes down to the team record and the quarterback. And I do look at the coach each week, but I just the only way I'm weighing the coaching is if it lines up with what we're already looking at. If it goes against the rest of the narrative, I don't really care. So, but it's hard to do it with the preseason because we don't.
You wouldn't be able to do it because I see what you're saying. But couldn't you find out how many I feel what you're saying. Yeah, I feel
how many of the Ravens have won a row? How many of the Ravens have won in a row in the preseason?
Well, I know that.
No,
they haven't lost since 14.
But have we counted how many games they've won in a row?
No, I know it's 5 every preseason, so I imagine like 20, 25.
Let's count it up. Let's go back and count how many in a row the Ravens have won. If they've won something like 22 in a row, or what's the numbers on? Here,
and I know Flacco got traded too. I don't know if that could have anything with this game. And then I know one thing: Jacksonville has beaten them the last 4 meetings. So Jacksonville got their number the last 4 times they played.
That's in the regular season, though. Regular season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like regular season, so I don't know.
Right.
But I know Baltimore hasn't lost a game under that coach.
John Harbaugh. Oh, they've never lost in the preseason under Harbaugh?
Right.
Okay, right. Let's go back and count right now how many they've won in a row. There could be something interesting here. I'm sure that streak will break at a significant number. Okay, I'll see if I can figure it out right now. We'll do that. All right, thanks, man.
All right, I'm listening.
But I want to figure out what the riddle is here because I know that there's a riddle with this game, Texans and the Packers, that we saw through the media. Again, we started to look at it. There's something here. There's some riddle with this game. But let's go back and count. So he said they've never lost with John Harbaugh. How many years has he coached the Ravens? The Harbaugh Bowl was where he beat his brother in Super Bowl 47 with the 49ers. What year was that? 6 years ago? Oh. So he can't be undefeated in the preseason with the Ravens. Maybe going back to 2014. Because he's been coaching there for a minute, since 2008. Okay. So let me go back to 2013, first of all. All right, so the Ravens won that one. Let's see. They won that one. They lost here. Okay, so they lost week 3 in 2013. What about week 4? This could be where the streak begins. No, they lost that one too. So he said that they have not lost a game since 2014. Okay. 2014. Hall of Fame weekend. What year did they played Hall of Fame weekend? What year was it? 2016. Well, it was last year, wasn't it? Last year. Yeah, last year they beat the Bears. That's right. Okay. They didn't play it that year. Okay. All right. So 1. They beat the 49ers that year. So the streak began against the 49ers. What was the last year Jim Harbaugh coached the 49ers? Jim Harbaugh, NFL coaching record. So 2014. So, okay, the streak began by beating his brother. So that's interesting. Okay, that's the first thing to consider. All right. Week 2, Cowboys. Week 3, Redskins. Week 4. Okay, Saints. So yeah, 4-0 2014. It started with his brother. And again, who are they playing tonight? Jacksonville. That's right, Jacksonville. Lamar Jackson. Now, hold up. I see 2015. They lost right here. They lost right here, week 4, 2015. So that's one loss. All right, so hold on. So maybe the streak goes back to 2016. Let's see about 2016. Okay. Okay, so 2016 they won week 1. They won week 2 over the Colts. Won week 3 over the Lions. Week 4 over the Saints. Okay, so they won them all in 2016. 2017. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Browns. They lost to the Jaguars. So they didn't have the streak through 2017. Or hold on. Am I screwing up and going to... Wait a minute. Maybe I'm screwing up. 2014, week 3. Was it week 4? Beat the Saints that year. Where did we see that loss? Okay, they lost preseason week 4, 2015. Okay. So I'm not screwing this up. Hold on, there might be a better way to do this. Ravens 2016 NFL schedule, NFL.com. I think this will show their preseason too. It doesn't have the preseason on here. Oh yeah, this is a better way to do it. Ravens. They won them all that year. Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Zach. I sent you a link through a text message. It's a spreadsheet I found that has the coaches' records, and it breaks it down by year, so it tells you like which years, how their 4 games went.
In the preseason?
It's like Walter Football something.
Walter Football? Is this for preseason records?
Yeah, it's only preseason.
Okay. All right, hold on.
But I couldn't post it because the chat doesn't allow links.
All right, walterfootball.com. Okay. walterfootball.com.
In the text message.
All right, I see the text message. Thank you very much. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. walterfootball.com. Let's see, preseason coaching records.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grid of each coach, or all the coaches, and it goes back like 10 or 15 years.
Okay, so John Harbaugh does have a really good preseason record, 33-12. Okay, yeah, we can definitely use this tonight. This is a nice find right here. Good work. I noticed that Baltimore's on a 13-game winning streak right now in the preseason. They won.
Yeah, that sounds like if the streak ends at 14, does that mean they'll win one and then lose their next one?
Let's see. Tonight they play Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 43, isn't it? The 14th prime. I think Jacksonville's 43. Yeah, it is. So they could win their 14th in a row tonight against Jacksonville. Let me double check.
Plus, like you said, that Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. And there's also something to the War of 1812. We saw those War of 1812 riddles last year. The national anthem was written in Baltimore. And Jacksonville's named after Andrew Jackson, who led the War of 1812. All right, so Ravens have won 13 preseason games in a row.
Nick Foles came from Philadelphia.
Say that again? All right, preseason coaching records. And here, so everybody can get this link. What I'll do is I'll go to the Patreon page right now. And I will link in the description as soon as this loads up right here. Preseason coaching records. So once I update this, everybody should be able to get that link. And here we can use this and take a peek at how things might. All right, yeah, great catch, Jeremy. Thank you.
I'm not sure if they lead the preseason with coaching records, or if it's more about just the backup quarterbacks that are gonna be on the roster. I'm not sure what their riddle would be.
Right. That's why, I mean, I've never tried to decode the preseason before, but tonight we can observe if coaches are picking up preseason wins that sync up with the Gematria teams, we'll know something for the rest of the preseason. So that's why I think for this live stream it's best to just observe and see if we can catch on to some patterns. But I know there's a riddle hanging out there with this this Texans and Packers game, and I'm just trying to think what it is. So I need to figure out who's starting at quarterback for Texans and Packers. I imagine it's probably Deshaun Watson for the Texans. Not sure about for the Packers. I'd imagine Rodgers is resting.
I saw a news story that was about a bicycle. Like, there's a tradition in Green Bay where the players ride children's bicycle to the practice, and J.J. Watt was riding one, and it broke because he was too big. I don't know if that's like a clue or if it's just a joke.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm sure it is a joke. Huh. Is that today's story?
It was a couple days ago.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
J.J.
Watt breaks kid's bike in hilarious fail. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, well, he's definitely part of the riddle tonight. He's the guy who loaned money to the Wisconsin family that was shot on May 15th. So
Yeah, and he played at Wisconsin
right,
College.
right,
Or for college.
exactly. So he's in his hometown. Huh. Let's see how it lines up with J.J. Watt's birthday today. Let's see here. J.J. Watt. Oh, yeah, how could I forget his birthday is March 22nd? Let's see. It's 139 days after his birthday. Green Bay's 139. And what else was it about 139 that I had here? Appleton, WI, where the shooting was 139.
Is 139 prime? I can't remember.
It's the 34th prime number.
Oh, yeah.
Is Texans 34? Texans actually might be 34. Let me check that. Yeah, Texans is 34.
So it lines up with both teams. Doesn't really help us pick a winner, though.
He was the hero of that shooting, right? That was by the guy in the Aaron Rodgers jersey. I mean, are there really any heroes in a preseason game? Is he even going to play tonight? So
I know most of the players don't even play until the third game. That's kind of like the tune-up. The third game is the tune-up game.
right. So there's definitely something they're doing with that game, though. Let's see. Packers quarterback preseason game 1. If his name equals 88 or something, that could be a clue. Packers have several other players to watch. Mason Crosby. Doesn't say what quarterback they'll be playing tonight. I guess I can look at the Packers depth chart. Packers depth chart. Let's see.
I think their backup was Deshaun Kaiser, maybe?
I'm guessing it's this number 9 that's in the picture here with Rodgers. That's my guess.
I know. I'm trying to remember. Brett Hundley. That was their backup last year. Hundley. I don't know if he's still with them or not, though.
It's for the fighting for 53-man roster spots. Backup quarterbacks Deshaun Kaiser and Tim Boyle. Running back Trey Carson. So maybe this Deshaun Kaiser's the guy.
I think he's from Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I also noticed that San Francisco's playing at Dallas on August 10th, and Dallas, Texas equals 118.
Say that again?
San Francisco is playing at Dallas on August 10th, the Tisha B'Av day.
Okay.
And Dallas, Texas equals 118.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on Saturday.
I thought they were playing tonight, though. No? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right, let me check out these 3 quarterbacks here for Green Bay and see if any of them have an 88 connection. Deshaun Kaiser's 139 like Green Bay, go figure. Tim Boyle. Let's see, Tim Boyle. I'll check his last name real quick. Okay, so Deshaun Kaiser. Tim Boyle. He doesn't have it. And Manny Wilkins. Manny Wilkins. Okay. Well, none of them had an 88 connection like I hoped for. But Deshaun Kaiser does have the 139 like Green Bay. Okay, so
on the topic of Houston, I know in their Week 1 game, they play the Saints, and Drew Brees, I think, comes into the season with 155 wins, and so he could get 156, and I think like Houston Texans equals 156.
Houston Texans 156. Let's see. Yep. That's why it's nice to have the stats. So yeah, that would make perfect sense right there, picking up 156 win. Let's see, QB win-loss record.
That's the Monday night game. So
9-9 Drew Brees Day.
Yeah, and then 33 as a word equals 156.
Yeah, you're right, and that's perfect too, because when you write out 33, it's 156, like MNF is 33.
Yep, and the Super Bowl's on the 33rd day of the year.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense there for Drew Brees. Yep.
That should be a good one for Week 1.
Yeah, that looks like a great one. So. And for the caller earlier who said how you do it in the NFL season, it's just like that. I mean, you're just looking for the same thing we do. The alignments, who's the perfect team to get the 156th career win against. Drew Brees, 156 over the Houston Texans. Perfect.
Yeah, it does help having those starting QB records, too.
Sure, they're everything. So, and that's what we don't have for the preseason.
But anyway, yeah, I mostly wanted to just give you that link to the coaching records.
Okay, yeah, that was a big one. I appreciate that fine. So.
Alrighty.
All right.
I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, take care, Jeremy. Have a good night.
Yeah.
See you. Okay, so everybody should have the link to this. I put it in the description of the video. Jeremy dug that one up. Great work by him. And again, one caller wanted to know what was up with the Ravens winning streak in the preseason. They have won 13 straight games. Streaks often do end at 14. If the Ravens won their 14th straight preseason game tonight, Jacksonville would be a good team to do it against, because Jacksonville's 43, the 14th prime. So that does make some sense. And let's see who they play next week. See if there's a team that would make sense to lose against next week. Whoops, I need to be on the right ear. All right, the Bucks and the Panthers. Let's see. I got the Cardinals next week. Battle of the Birds. All right, before these games get underway here, the ones that are about to start, Colts and Bills. Let's look at the coaches' records here. So, Indianapolis. Kind of. All right, Frank Reich is 1-0 week 1, so why? He's 3-1. 3-1. And facing the Bills. Buffalo Bills. Here, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute. Apologies. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we can look at the two coaches here and how their birthday lines up with the preseason. I'm not sure it has any weight. Hold on, let me close some windows. Come back to that. Keep this. Okay. Frank Reich birthday. 8 months, 4 days. Colts moved to Indy in '84. His upcoming birthday is 118 days. So I don't see anything that jumps out about that. And what's the Bills coach right now? McDermott? Is that his name? Sean McDermott? Yeah. March 21st. 140 days. Span of 141. Okay. So Frank Reich, both of these guys were rookie coaches last year. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I guess Sean McDermott has 2 years now under his belt. So McDermott was 3-5. All right, so here I'll make these notes. Frank Reich is 3-1 in preseason. Sean McDermott is 3-5 in preseason. And get one more time. Buffalo is 36. Bills is 36. So if he lost, he could become 3-6. So I'm going to watch for that tonight to see if there isn't any rhyme and reason to these guys' preseason records. They do rig up the preseason games with the scores in similar ways they do to the regular season, and we saw just how perfectly scripted the Hall of Fame game was. Again, we like the under in that game and the Broncos to win, and both things hit. But the Hall of Fame game was nicer because it had a history of team records on the date of the Hall of Fame game. You don't get that for your typical preseason game. So the over-under's right there at 36 as well. McDermott could fall to 3-6. Colts, Indianapolis. Colts. Okay. All right, for this Jets-Giants game, so the Jets have Adam Gase. He came from Miami. He's 5-7 in the Well, that's funny, isn't it? Big New York number, New York City 57. Adam Gase is 5-7 in preseason. 0-0 with Jets. And keep an eye on the game cast as the games go on. And if you guys make any great observations, like last year, remember Saquon Barkley, his first ever NFL carry in the preseason, went for 39 yards, that big New York number. So just be on the lookout for rituals like that tonight with the games. Anything interesting a commentator might see or say. Jets and the Giants coach is Shermer. They're both 5-7. New York City's 57. The Jets, the 67. It was the 67-68 season, right? Or no, it was the 68-69 season. I take it back. 68-69. All right. Shermer. Okay, so both of them are 5 and 7. Neither team has a 67 or 19 connection, I don't believe. I know Darnold equals 68. Jets are the team with the 54 connection. It is the year of Super Bowl 54. And just as I remember, New York alone in Jewish Gematria is 1,485, which is the 54th triangular number. If you had 1 through 54 together, it equals 1,485. New York's also 33, Super Bowl on the 33rd day of the year. If there's any New York team in the Super Bowl, I do believe it would be the Jets. Big sleeper team. And as I say that, let me check out Le'Veon Bell real quick, how he lines up. Remember, Le'Veon Bell was 26 years old last year. And if I remember right, Le'Veon equals 26. Last year was all about the AFC getting its 26th Super Bowl. Yeah, Le'Veon's 26. He was 26 years old last year. He's 27 this year. So, I don't know if he would play tonight. He hasn't played for so long. Today's game's 171 days. The Super Bowl would be on his 50th week of his age. Super Bowl equals 50 if you use the rule for S. So, Jets are definitely an interesting team this year. Okay. Let's look at recent years. What the Jets and Giants have done against each other in the preseason. Or it's probably better to do it this way. Let's see, 2018 preseason. So last year they didn't play the Jets. Or whoops, hold on. All right, last year they didn't play the Giants. See when the last time they played each other was. Giants. Oh shit. Didn't I set this on preseason? How'd it get messed up? Okay, so last year the Giants won 22-16. Document this real quick. Yeah, what's up?
You just made me think of something. So, I know you heard about Antonio Brown getting frostbite, right?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he got frostbite. They may put him, his career might be fucking done. Him.
Well, this would have been a story a while back, right? Because, I mean, if you got frostbite, that would have been in the winter.
No, this happened yesterday, Zach.
Where was he at? Frostbite?
He was in the facility. He did some dumb shit, got in the cryogenic tub without the proper gear.
Oh.
Surprised you ain't heard about that.
I missed this story, okay.
Yeah. And when you talked about the Jets and Le'Veon Bell, yeah, I think him, Le'Veon Bell, I'm just go out on a limb. Him, Le'Veon Bell, and OBJ something's gonna happen to all three of them. Something already gonna happen to AB. And if it's serious as frostbite, he ain't playing no football.
Why are you mixing in the New York Giant with the two Steelers players?
Say that again.
Well, the two guys are Steelers last year. Why are you mixing in OBJ with him? Just because they're the big off-season moves?
No. Well, yes and no. I did. I don't know if you saw my video on my King Fibonacci YouTube about the season of the Switch. The cover. They were all three of them were on the cover of Sports Illustrated Fantasy Football.
Okay.
That was the title. That was no doubt a tribute. I did a whole little 2-hour video or not 2 hours, it was like 15 minutes of Season of the Switch. That was a tribute to Season of the Witch. And I showed how that shit lined up, the Donovan song from the 60s. And all this stuff that's going on is, 60s themed. The blues, they first Stanley Cup was in the 60s. These movies, 60s movies, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Anyway, if something happened to do, I know it ain't no accident, it ain't no coincidence. Something's gonna come up with Le'Veon, something gonna come up with OBJ. It's just a guess. Something said, when you mentioned Le'Veon, for some reason, it made me think, AD, all three of them on the cover. Just Google it. Put it up on your screen. Sports Illustrated cover, fantasy football. All three of them on that cover. And the Season of the Switch is really the Season of the Witch. It goes back to your whole thing about the Wizard of Oz, what I talk about all the time when I go live about the Matrix. All of that shit is connected. That's the theme of this year.
What magazine was it again?
Say it again.
What magazine was it? Was this Season of the Switch?
Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated, okay.
Fantasy football. That issue.
Okay. Do you know what the issue date was?
I do not. I could try and figure it out. You see, because I'm on my phone, so I'm, not on. I don't have access to the laboratory. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going to my YouTube thing on my phone, seeing if I had that picture. Let's see. You know what? I forgot what I did. I took the video. I didn't take it down. I put the videos on my Patreon, and I left just certain ones up on that YouTube channel. Golly. Let me see. Let me look at my photos. Going back in my photos, see if it's here. It's got to be in my photos because I want to say I screenshotted or I took a picture with my phone. And then I uploaded it. That's how I did it. While I'm looking for this, the whole thing is, like I said, the Season of the Witch. It's not the Season of the Switch. That was, the major clue that they threw out there. I want to say that hit the shelf. That had to hit the shelf in June or early July. It had to. Because it's the fantasy football preview. Sports Illustrated wants to be first. I'm not seeing that photo in here. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I found it. I knew I had it in here. It says display until 9/19/19. Yep, I was right. June. That's 6/19/19. 3 months they have it on the shelf.
Okay.
On the cover is Le'Veon, Antonio Brown, and Odell Beckham Jr. change teams and shake up the fantasy landscape. The shit ain't fantasy, it's reality, as we all know.
June
AB is in the front, flexing with a Raiders helm, with his Raiders gear on. They showing Le'Veon doing moves. I don't know how they did this because they didn't do any. Unless they just took pictures. But it's like they weren't in no game action, but they got them in their gear doing football moves. does it say on here? Plus mock draft, expert roundtable, a scout's take on all 32 teams, sleepers, busts, and more. But yeah, he's out in front. Le'Veon is to his left. Odell is to his right. AB got frostbite. I don't know what the Gematria. I didn't even do it. Because I know what's going to happen. I ain't do no Gematria on none of this stuff that's happening in between time. I know I need to, and I will. I just been tired, man. I've been working. But if you want, we could do a joint video or something. But yeah, this is all synced up with that. Look at Netflix. It's a trailer that debuted not that long ago. It's going to be probably not a big deal. I mean, it's a bunch of Netflix shows, but this new series, the commercial for it came on regular TV, is called The Witcher. It's a lot of this stuff with witches and witchcraft going on, but you just got to go back to the beginning, quote unquote. Wizard of Oz. That's all you got to do. And then what was the new Wizard of Oz? The Matrix. 1999. I told you and all your listeners back when I first came on the scene 3 months ago. This is going to be a tribute in many ways to the 1999 season.
As you're speaking, Sam Darnold has an impressive first drive, and again, I'm not surprised about that. Again, they're the New York team with the 54 connections, and I think they're going to do something here with the Jets.
They running fire drills over here at the airport. Hold on, my bad, John.
That's okay. Darnold 68 yards on his opening drive. Darnold equals 68. That's a stat right there. That's a stat right there for Darnold. 68 yards on his opening drive. 68 season the year the Jets won it.
Yeah, let me tell you something, though, about seeing these numbers in these games. And it's, it all means something. I don't believe. I know that's why you jumped on it. Because I was surprised, like you said in your yesterday's decoder the day before about you wasn't too keen on preseason. Yeah, here we are. Let me tell you something. Bubba Watson, remember I told you that was my guy. He did place in the top 10. He didn't win. If you go back and look, he was hitting balls, man, and they was showing the numbers for the distance, whatever. I don't know golf ball like that. But they were showing different sets of numbers. His first tee-off hit for that day in that final round.
Just so people know what you're talking about, you're not talking about this tournament. You're talking about a couple weekends ago. Yeah,
the one that we talked about, where you asked me who was the guy that I was talking about. Whatever that was called. The Jude, was that the St. Jude something?
I think it was the St. Jude tournament, yeah.
Yeah, Koepka won. Yeah, that's it. So, if you go back and look, anybody want to go back and look at that telecast, when he hit his first tee off, it was 131 fucking yards or whatever, or the speed of the ball was 131. Trust me, I done seen all the numbers. So, it's not surprising or shocking that they doing this. Plus, they've been on to you, so anything you say and throw out there, like you said, of course they gonna script it regardless, because it's a whole lot of people that's pretty savvy, and the Jets do make sense. Like I told you when we spoke months ago now. But yeah, I don't think they going to the chip. Yeah, they gonna do something decent. They gonna go far or whatever, but they ain't going to the chip. I already done told you it's gonna be a team, if not two teams, that don't have a championship, and the Jets already have one. It's a little too obvious for them to throw the Jets in there. But yeah, go back and look at that. That's validation on this whole thing about this opening drive that you're talking about. Bubba Watson, hit after hit after hit. Anytime he was on TV, you saw numbers that boiled down to the fucking championship number, where it was 131, 58, 68, 57. 269, 57 prime, all of that. So go back and look at that. I just got a trip, so I got to go. I'll let you later.
All right, see you, man.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, what I'm going to do tonight is just take your calls on things you guys want to talk about, observations. So I'm about to look into this story about frostbite with Antonio Brown, and I just want to document in real time what's going on in the games. Jets are a real interesting team to me this year, and I wanted to see what Darnold was going to do on his first drive. And couldn't have been any more perfect. 68-yard drive is magic numbers. That means it started at the 32. and starts off with a touchdown. So, you know, they're the New York team that has the numbers this year. Giants don't have the connection to 54, but Jets do. Jets is again 54 in both ordinal ciphers. So, plus I made that point about New York and Jewish Gematria for the extra 54 relationship. Okay. So Jacoby Brissett was the starter here in this game. The game starting on his 241st day of his age. That's the 53rd prime. Big football number. Again, the shape of the football in sacred geometry is the Vesica Pisces, which equals 53. Just like you got the 53-yard wide field, the 53-man roster. Okay. And here, let's look at this Antonio Brown story, because the Raiders they just had the death of why can't I think of his name? Cliff. I can't think of his last name right now. They just lost the death of their player, or they just lost a player on August 3rd, a span of 38 days from their opener against the Broncos, and he played his college ball in Colorado. Raiders is 38, Colorado's 38. So that's going to be a riddle to keep in mind when that first game rolls around. But here, Antonio Brown frostbite. It's a weird story. Not technically frostbite, but Antonio Brown feels there's no timetable to return. Cryo injury sidelined me for months. This is Justin Gatlin. Okay. Frostbite, but this was yesterday's news. August 7th. All right, let's look at how this story is synced up with him. Antonio Brown. July 10th. All right, let's see. So it happened yesterday, August 7th. 28 days. His 29th day of his age. Football's 29. What's frostbite? Frostbite, 114, 42, 129, 57. So now it's 29th day of his age. Let's see. Antonio Brown. Okay. And their first game is Sunday, September 8th, I believe. Oh no, never mind, Monday night. Monday night. So the story broke on a Tuesday. 8-7. Alright, let me make a note about this too. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Was the story was actually before August 7th? It was August 6th. Alright, so they actually broke it before anybody else, a day early. It happened on a Monday. So that means the news first broke August 6th, but it happened August 5th, 8-5. We know National Football League is 85. Oakland's also 58. So I'm sure this story is a riddle with their season. It doesn't look like the kind of story they want, but it reportedly happened Monday. And what was his birthday again? July 10th. So 26 days after his birthday. Or his 27th day of his age. Brown is 27, isn't it? So on his 27th day of his age, and how old is he? 31. So you get the death of the Raiders wide receiver. What's his name? Cliff Branch. So Cliff Branch dies, and then you get their new star wide receiver with this problem. How many days apart was this? 2 days later. Okay. Alright, let me keep tabs on the game here. Alright, see what the Jets do in their next drive. Yeah, it might be the Sam Darnold show tonight. Okay. Let me see what's going on with the chat real quick. I don't know what you guys are talking about with the cat thing. From Antonio Brown's birthday to the first game, 61 days. That's a good observation. Okay. But yeah, the story definitely seems to be a riddle since it happened on August 5th. And what else is there about August 5th? 217th, leaving 148 days remaining. Oakland Raiders. John Gruden. Let me see how it syncs up with John Gruden. August 17th. So it came 12 days before his birthday. What was Frostbite again? Okay. Oh, they already took out Donald, huh? So just one drive, good to go. So one signature drive for Darnold. Got it. Here for a minute, I want to come back to this this other game that's going to start a little bit later today. The Texans at the Packers, because again, if you got here late, there was a story I covered earlier this year about a shooting in Wisconsin by a man wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey, and J.J. Watt ended up donating money to the family of the man that was supposedly killed. If you haven't seen this news story, watch the video. It's so fake. But the shooting happened May 15th, which was the 135th day of the year. The guy had an Aaron Rodgers jersey on. The shooter. Aaron Rodgers is 135. The man killed. Mitch Lungard, 135. 135th day of the year. And this shooting was exactly 88 days before today's August 8th game. 8-8. And then J.J. Watt made a big donation. He's from Wisconsin. So I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this. Maybe I need to look more at that Appleton, or the name of the guy who was shot. But there's obviously something about that story in this game tonight. Appleton. J.J. Watt wears the number 99, doesn't he? Let's see. W.I. Again, Appleton W.I. is 139 like Green Bay. Also like the name of the quarterback they have starting tonight, the Packers. That's Deshaun Kaiser. But I know there's something there I'm sleeping on that I'm not seeing. What's Lambeau Field? Lambeau. Okay. So in case you got here late, another riddle we're keeping an eye on is with the Ravens game. The Ravens have won 13 straight preseason games. And we know how streaks often end at 14. Sometimes they do end in the 14th game. If the Ravens did win 14 straight, Jacksonville's a good team to do it against because Jacksonville's 43. Football's also 43. And end equals 13 and 14, but it's usually 14 that the streak will go through. So last year, if you followed us, we were talking about the War of 1812 riddles. We were talking about before the season began, and then the first score of the first game of the season, the first Thursday night game, the Falcons. I'm trying to remember, the Eagles beat the Falcons 18-12, and the War of 1812 is where the national anthem came from. It has a lot to do with the flag. Flag's 26. If you remember that Falcons-Eagles game, the number 26s scored the only touchdowns on both teams. So, and the whole War of 1812 thing, the reason it matters here is because the national anthem was written in Baltimore, and the War of 1812 was led by Andrew Jackson, which Jacksonville's named after. So maybe get another riddle, ongoing riddle with that. I'm sure this year the protest stories will be back. Might get a clue in that game right there. All right, let's take a peek at the other games going on. The Bills are at midfield. Let's see what Josh Allen's doing. Three for 6 and complete. Okay. Frank Gore, man, it's crazy that Frank Gore is still in the league. When he was drafted, people thought he wasn't going to make it very long because he already had so many knee surgeries coming out of Miami. All right, Giants are in scoring range. All right. Panthers play the other Super Bowl contender today. So who are we saying that is? Where were they at? I missed them. Oh, the Bears. The Bears are in their 100th season. Haven't won the Super Bowl since '85. Again, the thing about this game is Ron Rivera, who was on that Super Bowl team, so he's playing his old team. How many years has Ron Rivera been coaching right now? Ron Rivera's history, if he's faced the Bears before in the preseason as a coach of the Panthers, and how those games went. 18 Carolina Panthers season schedule, NFL.com. Okay. Okay. Let's see. No Panthers. Let's see. Okay, no Bears. No Bears. Two 2014. So he played him this year. 2013 he played him. Okay, let me make a note about that. August 9th was the day of that game. Panthers beat Bears in 2013. 2013. 24-17. That might be the only time they played. All right, Giants scored. Let me get the update on that real quick. So there's D. Jones. Daniel Jones. Number 8. Okay. Daniel Jones. 63. Double 63 connection. Let's see here. Daniel Jones' birthday, May 27th. 70 days. Giants is 70, isn't it? So 70 days after Daniel Jones' birthday, he gets a nice touchdown. All right, hold on. Let me record that real quick. 5 for 5, too. Not bad. 67 yards. Okay. So 67-yard drive gives them a lead, 6-7. So Hashka missed a 34-yard field goal for the Bills. The latest there. All right, but coming back to this Ron Rivera thing. 2012. Oh, about 2011. All right, so Rivera's 1-0 versus old team the Bears in the preseason. And actually, what else I need to check about that game is where was it at? Was it in Chicago or was it in Carolina? It was in Carolina. So this time it's in Chicago. It could be different. The game's 213 days after Ron Rivera's birthday. Black Panthers 2-1-3. We saw that number coming up in some riddles with Cam Newton last year, but I don't know if Cam Newton's out there on the field. Of course, his team does have the Black Panther on the helmet. So Last year was the release of the film Black Panther. Yeah, 67, the 19th prime. That's true. Super Bowl LIV. That is something that has been relevant in past years. Is taking the Roman numerals and seeing what the Gematria value is. That's definitely been relevant in the past. So. $57 too, like that championship number. That's interesting. I see Green Bay Packers 150, like Super Bowl LIV. That is a good observation. Yeah, I'm real curious to see what happens in this game tonight with the Texans and the Packers, because that's the clearest news story I've seen this offseason synced with a game, and there's a reason they did that. The Texans were a very competitive team last year. The Packers would have to make a big comeback. Here, real quick, let's look at the stats for Rodgers and Deshaun Watson coming into this season. Excuse me. Allergies. All right. Hey, you know what else is interesting? Aaron Rodgers comes in with 174 total games under his belt. That's a really good observation to use the Gematria of Super Bowl LIV. So, Aaron Rodgers, he'd have to have... Well, the Packers, their team is better this year than last year. They fixed up their defense. So, Rodgers, 174 games under the belt. And... let's see his regular season stats. 158. Comes in with 100 in wins. And 57 losses. Super Bowl LIVs 57. 61-16. 39-41. So, yeah, Packers schedule here. December 2nd, 2019 to 2/2/2020. 62 days. The Super Bowl's on his 63rd day of his age. Yeah, I thought there was some interesting thing with the Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers is 63. Might recall last year when he got his 63rd win at home, 63 combined points on Monday Night Football. Caller?
Hello, Zach.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, you doing the Houston Green Bay game?
Well, we're just looking at all the games and trying to make some meaningful observations tonight, and we're taking calls and just seeing if we can compile some interesting stuff to look at. Yeah, what's going on?
Okay, well, I just want to let you know the local sports talk stations here, 2 of them, today said that Deshaun Watson will not take a single snap tonight.
Okay.
Instead, the backup Joe Webb will.
Joe Webb. Okay. And
yeah, Joe Webb will take. I think they plan on playing 3 quarters. And then they just signed a guy out of Ole Miss.
Okay.
That's going to play the 4th quarter. So I just thought you might want to know that when you're working your numbers.
Okay, do appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
All right, see you. Caller? Caller, can you mute your video, please?
Yeah, is this Zach?
Yeah, it is.
What's up, man? I was watching your live stream on NFL. I had some stuff I wanted to add if I could.
Of course, yeah. This is what I'm here for you guys to call in and share. Absolutely.
So I was looking at just writing out all the NFL teams as far as their names go is with the city and the name of the team, and then adding that septenary cipher. If you do that, there's 3 teams that come out to 54. Obviously, Super Bowl 54. The 3 teams are the Panthers, the Packers, and the Titans. The interesting thing about that is that the Titans and the Packers have a G and a T on their helmet, which is where the 7 falls
Well,
on the
there's more.
secondary
There's
cipher.
more teams than that. Just in the base ciphers, Jets is 54, Bills is 54, Saints is 54 to add to your list.
No, for sure. And I'm just going by going on the septenary cipher.
Oh, you're saying those teams in septenary are all 54?
Yes, just those 3, just in the septenary.
Well, that's interesting because Titans is also 54 in the base ciphers. Tennessee Titans is 54. Okay.
Okay, so now check this out. When you do that, in the septenary cipher, there's 2 number 7s, and both 7s fall on G and T.
Right.
G is on the Packers helmet, T is on the Titans helmet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I looked up Mike Vrabel, and there was an article about him where he said he would cut off his penis to secure a Super Bowl win, right?
Right.
So I looked up his name, and in the 4 base ciphers, he's 98, 44, 172, and 64. 98 finished the season 9-7 last year. He could potentially lose the first game this year to start 9-8. 44, he's 43 right now. He turns 44 August 14th. He'll be 44 on the date of the Super Bowl, which also has 44 date numerology.
Oh, Mike Vrabel's birthday is the day of the Super Bowl?
No, August 14th. It's 172 days, but he'll be 44 years old the day of the Super Bowl.
Oh, got it.
You know what I'm saying? He turns 43 this year. He'll be 44 when the Super Bowl happens.
Okay.
So that's the 98, the 44. His birthday is 172 days before the Super Bowl. So that means 172, that's the third in the, I think it's the reverse alphabetic order. And then the last one was 64. I haven't attached anything to it yet, but he is 6'4" tall, or listed is.
Okay. I wouldn't put too much weight on that. But yeah, those are very interesting observations. So yeah,
I wanted to throw that out there. I don't really have too much about this week's games, but if that's something that you could potentially look into, maybe do a video on, or study some stuff further. I'm going to do some more crunching myself. But the Packers also look like, Aaron Rodgers, they've been downtrodden him the past few years. He's had an average last 3 or 4 seasons, whereas he had a great first 6 or 7. And now Mike McCarthy's out of the picture. They're going to try to probably place the blame on him and say that he didn't give Aaron Rodgers the creative freedom that he deserved, and now Rodgers will show out with this new coach that allows him to run the offense. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I got some more crunching to do, but I just wanted to throw that in because I was watching you live. So.
Okay. All right. Do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Take care.
Yeah. You too. Thanks. So the thing about the Vrabel teams with the 54 connection, so right there, your most pure cipher, Tennessee Titans 54. And he was saying if you use the septenary cipher. Now, I don't use these ciphers to decode the Super Bowl, but it must be Titans that it's, or maybe it's Tennessee. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm not sure where he got the 54 for Tennessee Titans with that cipher. I don't see it. That's okay. What I was going to say, though, what's interesting about those ciphers is if you write out Super Bowl, it's 35. And if you write out football, it's 35. And the first ever Super Bowl was won by the Packers with 35 points. Always a big number with Tom Brady, who's, pretty much become the face of the Super Bowl in the time he's been in the NFL. Tom Brady's 35 birth numerology. A lot of 35 riddles with Tom Brady over the year. So I do think these ciphers have some relevance, but I've never used them to get my futures right for the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying don't use them, but I just know within these ciphers right here, you can usually get what you're looking for. Again, case in point, last year, Patriots 53, Rams 53. Whoops, not Rams, Los Angeles. Los Angeles 53. And we know how that went, so. All right. The Browns scored early. Was that Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield comes out and goes 77 yards. Baker Mayfield, his last game with the Bengals this year is 239 days after his birthday. Baker Mayfield's 239. Just like when he won the Heisman, it was 239 days after his birthday. 77. I'm trying to think of the relevance of it here. Well, we know that's a huge number in Washington, D.C., but this game's not in D.C. Again, Washington, D.C. is on the 77th meridian. But I do want to document that. 77 yards for 7 points. And who caught the touchdown here? R. Higgins. I should have looked at that. I need to go back and look at that with Darnold's perfect opening drive as well. So all night I'm just going to be documenting things, just seeing if we can pick up on any big clues from these games. That was fast because this game just started and already the points up on the board. If you guys don't know, last year we did call the Browns ending their losing streak perfectly because when they did, the game where they inserted Mayfield just before halftime, he had 47 yards passing just before the half. Ohio's 47. That game was 216 days after Jim Brown's birthday. And, of course, Cleveland's the 216 area code, just showing how scripted things are. All the chess pieces are on their right spot on the board, but there's been a lot of hype for the Browns ever since Mayfield got in there. So, how many days is it from... Here, I got to record these notes as we go. Okay, so Mike Vrabel said he would cut off penis for a Super Bowl. I don't know why uppercased. 34 days before his birthday. All right. Just gonna create a list of notes, stuff we can go over that we talked about during this live stream. Also, if you got here late, one of the first things we looked at was how Jerry Jones, there was talk of the Cowboys making the Super Bowl. It is interesting that the Super Bowl is 112 days after Jerry Jones's birthday. Super Bowl's 112. If I'm not mistaken, last year the Super Bowl was 112 days after Jared Goff's birthday. If it wasn't that, then it was the NFC Championship that was 112 days after his birthday, but it was one of the two. I know that. So, hold on. All right. Tennessee Titans 54. All right, let me see here. Joe Webb. I needed to run the numbers on Joe Webb for the Texans. Hold on, I want to document this about Mayfield first. His birthday is April 14th, Mayfield. Let's see. Today's the 117th day of Mayfield's age. I forget, is Ohio 117 in Jewish? It is. So 117th day of Mayfield's age, right? And think about that. 11-7, what is 11 times 7? 77, like his 77-yard drive. There's some bigger 117 connection with Ohio through the Buckeyes. I forget exactly what it is. Maybe it's the English extended cipher. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't write in Ohio State Buckeyes. What is it again? I forget. Ohio State Buckeyes, 1128, the 47th triangular number. But there's something else about 117 that I'm forgetting. Buckeyes? It can't be that. I got to think about it. 117, though, it connects to Ohio in another football-related way that I'm forgetting right now. So Mayfield's 117th day of his age. And, of course, Washington, D.C. on the 77th meridian. Number seems to always show up around that city. Okay. Joe P says, do I think there's something about 174? Well, that is a big number. Number of the beast is 174 too, and beast is 47. And, speaking of the Packers and 47, they got the capital G, like the capital G under the 47 degrees on the Masonic compass. So, yeah, the Packers are interesting. The Packers are interesting. Hold on. Let me check out this Higgins guy, the guy who caught the touchdown here, number 81, Rashard Higgins. See what's going on with that.
Chris Thompson, big hero.
Let's see, Rashard Higgins. I got to come back to Joe Webb, too. So many things to keep track of. October 7th birthday. October 7th. Today's 305 days after his birthday, which means it's a span of 61 days to his upcoming birthday, because Ohio's also 61. So you got a double Ohio tribute here with the Mayfield to Higgins touchdown. Let me get that up here. I guess I can just note it. Rashard Higgins, how many receiving yards did he have? $24. I don't think that's that important. Okay. So yeah, double Ohio tribute. Quarterback and receiver. Hold on, I wanted to see, where did the game go? Oh, I guess it just got pushed down the list. Let's see who caught these touchdowns here. Oh, Jay Crowder caught the touchdown. Jamison Crowder. Jay Crowder's the basketball player. Jamison Crowder. June 17th. Oops. $52 days after his birthday, span of 53 days. I don't know what's up with 53, but I don't think those numbers connect to the Jets or Sam Darnold. Again, Darnold had a 68-yard drive, went right down the field and scored. Crowder. Oh, Jamison Crowder's 68 too. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, Sam Darnold's 68-yard drive capped off with a touchdown, Jamison Crowder 68. And just before that happened, if you were here, we were just talking about Darnold, how his name equals 68, how the Jets won the Super Bowl in the 68-69 season. So, couldn't have scripted it any better. The Giants have 70 receiving yards when they scored their touchdown. Giants is 70. And it was 70 days after the quarterback's birthday. 70 days. Why would they suspend the game? Is the weather that bad? Really? Let's see who caught the touchdown here. Fowler. Benny Fowler. Fowler. Got a good name for football. Benny Fowler. June 10th. Yeah, let's see. $59 days after his birthday. And all of this stuff that you're seeing in the preseason, you're going to recognize when you use this code and just watch how the regular season games go. It's the same thing. It's the same thing all day. So, and for those of you who play fantasy football and those things, a lot of times players that have like the connection to the date numerology, the right distance in birthdays, they'll be big time performers. So, I remember the other year, Antonio Brown, who wore the number 84 for the Steelers. Before the season began, I said, just watch this game right here. 84 days after his birthday, his first 2 receptions of that game both went for touchdowns. He had 2 receptions with 2 touchdowns. I think he had 42 yards receiving, if I remember right. But so there's all sorts of ways you can use this information besides just doing the head-to-head records. All right, so the Bills put up some points here. So all the New York teams got touchdowns. Remember, New York has that special connection to 54. So, and Bills and Jets are both 54. But to me, I suspect the Jets will have the best season of the New York teams this year. Josh Allen, 66 yards. Matt Barkley with the touchdown. What's up with Matt Barkley today? Barkley. Oh, isn't Matt 54? Yeah, Matt's 54 like Bills. Okay, so Matt Barkley gets the first touchdown of the game. But, alright, there we go. Matt Barkley, who got the touchdown here. C. Phillips. September 8th. So his birthday is the opening Sunday. And what's special about September 8th is it's the 251st day of the year, the 54th prime. So that's why the opening date for the Sunday games is perfect this year. I wonder if this guy ends up being the starter for the Bills. So today, $334 days. So his upcoming birthday is 31 days. Okay, but Matt puts up the first points on the board. All right, Bills, Browns. Dolphins got a field goal. Again, the Ravens are trying to win 14 preseason games in a row. We know how many streaks go to 14 and end there, so keep that in mind if the Ravens win this week. Jacksonville equals 43, the 14th prime would be a fitting team to win 14 straight against. Lamar Jackson. How's this drive going here? 3rd and 7 at midfield. Okay. Let me pull up that Joe Webb information. November 14th. He's starting for the Texans game tonight. There's definitely a riddle with the Texans-Packers game based on the shooting story from earlier this year, but I can't figure out where they're going with it for the game, so might just have to wait for the outcome to figure out what they're doing with that. It's 98 days. What's Joe Webb equal? Joe Webb. What's his full name? Joe Webb. Joseph Webb III. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that game. Alright, Redskins put up some points. Patriots are close. Case Keenum with the touchdown. Let's see. Case Keenum. February 17th. Today's Case Keenum's 173rd day of his age. That's funny. Gets his first action today. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cut the touchdown over here. Robert Davis. Robert Davis. Davis is 55, and I think he just had 55 yards passing. Again, if anybody wants to call in, anything they've observed or have a question about, the number is posted in the description. It's 509-731-0567. Okay, Miss Mildred, if you're in the chat right now, I just saw your text message. I will get back to you about that, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. All right, so Patriots, Hoyer put up a touchdown here. 5-7, that Super Bowl number. Defending champs going up against Matt Patricia. I meant to look at this game. I wanted to see how many days it was from Belichick's birthday. If I remember right, I think Belichick's birthday is April 16th, and Patricia's is September 13th. Let's see how my memory is. Let's see. Pretty sure Bill Belichick's born in 52 on April 16th. Yeah, the reason I remember that is because it's the 106th day of the year and the year 52. Those are prophecy numbers. 106 and 52. Let's see. April 16th. 114 days. And Matt Patricia, I'm pretty sure it's September 13th. Let's see. Yep. Okay. 329 days. Okay. Lions is 33. That's all I can think of with that. It would be 36 days to his upcoming. Okay. Anyway, what's up for you? October 13th. $299 days. So his upcoming birthday is in 66 days. Is Lions 66? Lions is 66. Okay. Mm. 66 is the 11th triangular number. I'm just thinking. Patriots have been in 11 Super Bowls. All right. Oh, wait. Who caught the touchdown? M. Harris. Who's that? Maurice Harris. Number 11th. $271st day of his age. 58th prime. And 95 days to his upcoming birthday. Reese Harris, what did I just see? Harris is 37 like Patriots. Okay. So far, that's the least interesting first touchdown. Okay. Looks like Falcons scored a TD already. Is it a touchdown or 2 field goals? That chops in, maybe 2 field goals. Oh, rushing touchdown, okay. Ito Smith. Let me close up some windows so I don't kill my computer here. Ito Smith. 3. He's number 25 who scored that first touchdown. Like Falcons was 25, like the 25 points they gave up in the comeback to the Patriots on 2-5. Ito Smith, let's see. What's the deal with this guy? I've never heard of him before. Is he a rookie? A little bit old to be a rookie. I wonder if this guy ends up being somebody for the team. He's got the right jersey number and the right birthday. So, for you fantasy football guys, this could be a sleeper right here, Ito Smith. He's got the right jersey for that team. Chop, 77 yards. The Ravens are up good on the Jaguars, going for that 14th straight win. So they got a nice little cushion here. Lamar Jackson. 41-yard touchdown, Baltimore 41. Hold on, I got to go back to the scoring drive here. How do I do it? $10-yard touchdown, okay. But perfect, 41 yards passing, Baltimore 41. Puts him up. And who got the touchdown? Snead the fourth. Who's that? Billy Snead the fourth. All right, hold on. Okay. And his birthday is January 7th. 213 days after Lamar Jackson's birthday. That's an interesting number always. Who is this? Willie? Was it Willie? October 17th. $70 is Raven 70? No, 79. That was his name. Snead. Snead's 43, like how they're trying to beat Jacksonville for that 14th straight time. Okay. going on in this game so far? Kaiser came out 3 for 3. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat here. Someone said, did anyone notice the average for the under-over was 35? Again, that's a football number, so that's probably why they had it there. Today's date numerology is also, the lesser date numerology today is also 35. And I noticed this lesser date numerology comes up so much with college football scores. So often the college football scores right here, the total points, the winning score. If you pay attention to college football scores, you'll see how many teams will win with the same amount of points on the same day. And so often it's this date numerology method, that lesser method, but college football just shows up again and again. So I'm sure that's why the average over-under. So let's see. The Colts-Bills game was 36.5. Again, Buffalo had those 36 connections. Jets-Giants was at 35. Redskins-Browns was at 36. Patriots-Lions right at 35. Falcons-Dolphins at 35.5. Titans-Eagles 36.5. Jaguars-Ravens 31. Panthers-Bears 36. Texans-Packers 35.5. Chargers-Cardinals 37.5. So yeah, I mean, it is close to there. Seems like it might just be a hair over 35, but let's see how many scores show up with that number today. All right. Here, while the games are kind of stagnant right now, things we can talk about again. Good resources to use for doing your research. This website right here, Football DB, the QB win-loss records, super helpful. The overall includes the playoffs. If you just want to see the regular season stats, you just switch it to regular season. If you just want postseason stats, you could do that as well. Like, for example, something we were talking about last year in the playoffs, just looking ahead when we were decoding the playoffs last year, we saw that if Andrew Luck lost that game that he did, he'd become 4-4, and it would set him up for the opportunity the next season, which is this season, to win his first game and get to 5-4, the year of Super Bowl 54. Because the other thing we knew about Andrew Luck was that in the regular season, his next career win was 54. So we started thinking like, he could get a really big 54 tribute next year. First regular season win 54. First one in the postseason 5-4. And anyhow, so if you want to comb through here and look at things, earlier tonight Jeremy called in and he pointed out that Drew Brees, his first game of the season, he can get his 156th win on Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans. Again, Houston Texans, if you write it out, is 156. That's on MNF. MNF's 33. Always 33 rituals with Monday Night Football. If you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. And that game will be September 9th, 99. Drew Brees is 99. So, going up against J.J. Watt, number 99. But this is a website you definitely want to use, footballdb.com. Really good for the stats, you know. If you've ever seen my phone call to the NFL office after last year's Monday Night Football game, we saw that Aaron Rodgers was going for his 63rd home win at the time. He's at 65 now, but at the time he was going for his 63rd home win, 63 days from his birthday, playing against the 49ers, the team that he grew up cheering for because he's from the Bay Area. And if you remember that game, the Packers had to rally late to win, but they won it, and I believe the score was 33-30, 63 points. Let's see. Packers 49ers box score 2018 MNF equals 63. And as we were saying, that's what makes the Packers an interesting team this year, because the Super Bowl is on Aaron Rodgers' 63rd day of his age. Last year that game was 63 days from his birthday at the time. So, again, you start to learn how the numbers sync up with the players, with the teams. You can spot the rituals in the scheduling and pick out the games that have a really high probability of going the way you expect them to. Okay, Titans took the league on the Eagles. Remember, Titans are one of the teams with the 54 connection this year. Tannehill just came over from Miami, got the touchdown, 41 yards. Wonder if Tannehill could take Mariota's job. Okay, let's take a look at Tannehill today. Pruitt. Where'd that guy come from? I'm trying to think. Okay. Forget where he was. Maybe he was on that team. Now let's see how this stacks up. Hold on, I just thought about something. What does the word penis equal, since Vrabel got those headlines for saying he would do that? It's not 54. Okay. Alright. Tannehill. Let's see how things stack up for him. July 27th, so it's 12 days after his birthday. It's his 13th day of his age, 41-yard drive, 41 to 13th prime. Oh, Tannehill's 41 too, nice. Okay. And I think Michael Pruitt. March 24th. Tennessee, Houston. Okay. March 24th. Good day for a football player. That's the 83rd day of the year. Football's 83. 207 days after his birthday. Let's see, Pruitt. 58. Michael Pruitt. What was his jersey number? Number 85. Patriots getting up big on the Lions. Another touchdown. Hoyer with 2 touchdowns, huh? Oh, it hasn't updated here yet. On his 147th yard, okay. 12 of 14. Who was that second one to? Jay Myers. Jacoby Myers. Actually, how do you spell that name again? Jacoby Myers, 74, 85. He's got a good name for football. Let's see here. Jacoby Myers' birthday. Well, we don't have his birthday. That's the one thing about college football. When you decode college football, you don't have as much information usually to work with. A lot of times you don't have the birthdays of the players. Some quarterbacks' birthdays are out there. NFL's easier to decode for that reason. But there's still big clues in college as well. Like Clemson in the championship game. That's happening. Jacoby Myers. Where did the stats go for that game? Stats up here too. Okie dokie. Bills just scored again. Rushing touchdown. Let's see. If the Bills coach wins, he'll be 4-5 in the preseason. Just thinking about that, because I was looking at 36, but that's right. Buffalo Bills is 45 as well. Okay. September 19th. 28 days, span of 29 days, football 29. 93 days after. Wait, no. Whoops. 23 days. 42 days. Eagles just put up a touchdown. Sudfeld. Days. Days. 60 days to his birthday, he's got the touchdown. All right. Let's see here. Tennessee's 137 too. So when he got his touchdown, he had 137 yards. Perfect opponent. And his name's 60 at 60 days from his birthday. Okie dokie. So far, nobody's called in with any great observations about things going on in the game. If you're listening out there, I was hoping that would happen. That was part of the reason of doing the live stream, to get some communication and some extra eyeballs on things. But maybe there just hasn't been anything that interesting yet. So. Caller?
What's going on, Zach?
Hey, man.
Yep. Yeah, I got that corrected stat. It was 2016 about that Baltimore when the last time they lost.
Did you see what I showed once we looked it up?
Yeah. That's why I called you, because I bet Baltimore. When that was 13, we all know what 14 is. So that's why I bet Baltimore. I had to lay 200 to win 100. I should have took the spread, but yeah.
God, they were that big of a favorite? They were that much of a favorite?
Yep, minus 190. Yep, minus 3.5 on that was one of the highest ones. Them and the Falcons in Miami. Them the highest lines of the day. Every other one is like 1 point or 2 points. But with those two, it's 3.5. That was a 3.5, and it moved because it was 3 this morning, and then it went to 3.5.
I see.
But I'm glad you did that for me, man.
Let's not jinx anything. But yeah, I'm cheering for you.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you is, and like when coaches be getting interviews, and then they make little hand gestures in their face, like they might play with their nose, or they might.
Of course. Of course.
Right. Do you know that language, or?
I don't know that language, but I'm sure they're signaling. Yeah, I look at that stuff all the time.
Yeah, because what I was just like, while you're going through all these numbers, what I was realizing, you know how all those coaches be like up in the booth, like they supposed to be like, I guess, calling the plays, or it'd be like a whole bunch of them, but they be in the skybox. Maybe they be like doing the gematria of, you know what I mean? Maybe because it's like how they doing it. Like maybe they might be like adding stuff up, doing the computer just like you doing, but like actually in real time in the booth.
To make sure that things hit on the patterns. It could be. It could be. I have a feeling they have the game scripted beforehand. Because, I mean, for years they'd always bring up how Bill Walsh with the 49ers, he was the first coach to ever script the first 30 plays of the game or whatever they'd say. And
Right. So do you think they're just there to decoy, like make people think this actually real and those actually real coaches up there? What do you think they have a purpose up there, or you think that's just the finesse? Just to finesse it to where it look like everything is so real and everything is so perfect.
Well, I think it is all part of the show, but it's just like when you got a theater production, you do have a lot of people that are behind the curtain making sure everything's on point. So.
Right. See, that's what I'm thinking. What the people upstairs is, I'm thinking, like you say, it's already pre-scripted, but I'm thinking like they know, they know we on the 32 now. Let's get him his touchdown. That'll be 60-some days for his birthday. 60-some yarder, you know what I mean? That's what I was just thinking in my head. Like that's probably what those guys are up there for.
Well, they already got they got it all mapped out, right? They got the information. They know what the birthday distance is, and they know whose gematria is what. Just like how Darnold's 68-yard drive ends with the 68 name gematria dude.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, I think essentially what they do is they just make sure, and I think the zebras are in on it too, just to make sure everything is just, because I don't know, I mean, it's amazing to witness it, but just year after year we just document how everything's just like perfect, the score, the yards, the drive. So I assume all those guys are playing their role just to make sure that the script's hit, and maybe like things do get screwed up, so that then they got to come up with like the solution, like, okay, well, what are we gonna do to get this back on track? So.
Right. That's what I'm thinking that there for. But I really want to ask you too, like the hand gestures and stuff. I thought maybe like a couple signs or something, because I was just seeing the coach for the Falcons. He did a little funny move, and I feel like that was telling you something, but I just don't know how to read that.
Sure, I have no idea what their hand gestures mean, but I have no doubt that they're signaling. So.
Right. All right, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you.
Yeah, take care. Okay, this Myers dude is he's got his second touchdown here, Jacoby Myers. That November 9th birthday. What did I say earlier about that? So obviously they got the ball right down there at the Detroit goal line. One pass for 5 more yards for 3 more points. Remember last year the Lions humiliated the Patriots, and I think it was week 3. I actually want to go back and look at how many days it is from that game to this game. Let's see. Patriots, Lions, box score. I'm pretty sure it was week 3. It was Sunday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. September 23rd. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Sunday Night Football. Yeah, okay. September 23rd, 2018. Whoops, I need today. 319 days. I don't know about that. It's Matt Patricia's birthday backwards. Well, Hoyer's having the best night tonight of the quarterbacks. That's for sure. Panthers up on the Bears, Giants and Jets. They got the game going back. It's weird that they would suspend it for the weather. Again, this Broncos-Seahawks game, what's interesting about this game is it's 2014 days. A span of 2014 days from the Super Bowl, which was in 2014. So it just makes me wonder if the Seahawks Russell Wilson. How many days? I doubt Russell Wilson's playing. Russell Wilson's name equals 54. Just like baseball, he's the baseball player too. 54 always comes up big in Russell Wilson's career, so I wonder what kind of season he has. This year, the Seahawks opened their season against the Bengals. Russell Wilson's from Cincinnati. Let's see. 113 days to Wilson's birthday. I doubt he plays tonight. What about Pete Carroll? What's his birthday? I forget. September something. September 15th. $327. It's 38 days to Pete Carroll's birthday tonight. That big Colorado number. What did I do? How old's Carroll gonna turn? 68? 68. I forget who's the Broncos coach now. Fangio. 351 days after. And again, it's 2014 days from the Super Bowl, which was in 2014. Seahawks won with 43 points. Again, classic example of just showing how scripted the Super Bowl is. Super Bowl 48, Broncos and Seahawks. Seahawks equals 48. Seattle Seahawks equals 43. They won Super Bowl 48 with 43 points. Colorado's also 43. Remember how that game started with a safety? Comical. The best teams in the NFL start the game off by snapping the ball through the back of the end zone, I'm sure. Okay. Browns just put up another touchdown. How did they get it? Defensive? Looks like it was a defensive touchdown. D. Lawrence, touchdown. Let's see if it was his special day. Number 99. That's as close of a jersey number as you can get to 100. Let's see here. His name's 83, like football. I think Cleveland Browns is 83, isn't it? Cleveland Browns 83. He's got the right name. Oh, Cleveland Browns is 61 too. That first touchdown they get, it was a span of 61 days from the dude's birthday. Ohio's also 61. Okay. So, how many days from this guy's birthday? October 13th. October 13th. What is that? 66 days. NFL 66. I saw ESPN put up a thing. Best team under with the average age under 25, and they put up the Cleveland Browns as the best team in that category. I think they had the Chiefs number 2, which I thought was interesting. I was like, really? You're going to rank them over the Chiefs who were in the AFC Championship? Okay, let me see here. Oops, that's not what I want. Whoa. Shit. What year is this for the Browns franchise? '61's the 18th prime. Baker Mayfield, made his debut in 2018, the year the Browns got some momentum going. Let's see what they do this year. Dolphins scored a touchdown. Packers scored a touchdown. Giants scored another touchdown. Let's see here. What did I miss? Did I miss a touchdown here? Josh Rosen. Let's see. Two. 179 days after his birthday. Hmm, 41st prime. Who's this Balaj guy? Kevin Balaj. Touchdown to the running back. Let's see. 136 for a span of 137. What's his jersey number? 27. Large. '83 like football too. Balaj 41. Touchdown was 179 days after Rosen's birthday, the 41st prime, and Balaj is 41. Okay. I don't expect anything out of the Dolphins this year. I think they'll probably be one of the worst teams. I guess Fitzpatrick's competing with Rosen for that starting job, huh? Giants scored again. Tanny. The Giants had the death of that player earlier this year, the former Giant from the heat stroke. Just thought about that. Alex Tanny. Number 11th. 95 days. 271st day of his age. 58th prime. Another guy with an 83 in his name. Okay. Let's see here. .41 yards, green base 47. Was it a defensive touchdown, pick 6 or something? Wait, how'd they get the points? Kickoff return? Why am I not seeing how they got their touchdown? Touchdown. I do not see how they got their touchdown here. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream right now. Let's see. It doesn't look like it updated how they scored. Scoring plays. 0-5. Okay, it was a defensive touchdown. Why did it not show? Okay, I guess it just doesn't show. Alright. This guy went to Notre Dame. Didn't the quarterback go to Notre Dame too? Where's that game at? Where did Deshaun Kaiser go to school? Yeah, okay, so that's interesting that the guy who scored the touchdown went to Notre Dame just like the starting quarterback. That is strange. His name's 100, like how the Packers are about to celebrate their 100th season. Oh, and his name's 251, the 54th prime too. See, this is why I'm paying attention to this kind of stuff, just to see what kind of rituals go down tonight, because the Packers do have an interesting narrative. They do. They got a shot. Aaron Rodgers' birthday is perfectly synced with the Super Bowl. But something to consider is, in Aaron Rodgers' playing career, there's been a Super Bowl on February 2nd before, which means that year it was perfectly synced with his birthday too. And he didn't go to the Super Bowl that year. That was 2014. That's something to think about actually tonight with the Broncos-Seahawks game. That was the only Super Bowl ever played on the 33rd day of the year. This year will be the second time. So, and again, it's exactly a span of 2014 days since that Super Bowl to tonight's preseason game. And that Notre Dame fire too, that could have a big relevance with all Notre Dame sports this year. That was April 15th. The Packers, this won't be their 100th season, but it'll be the 100-year anniversary of their team being established, which was August 11th, 1919. his name with a Z. Yeah, so this is a ritual with this guy getting the first touchdown right here. I want to see the highlight on this. I wonder if it's out there yet. Leaving 92 days left in the year. September 30th. Today would be his 313th day of his age, the 65th prime. Notre Dame's 41 like Green Bay. St. Brown. What else is it about this guy? Okay, let's see. Back to his upcoming birthday. 53 days or a span of 54 days to his upcoming birthday, too. And again, his name's 251, the 54th prime. How old is he going to be? 23rd birthday. Yeah, that's a ritual right there. I want to see the highlight and see what it looks like. The National Fixed League. Who wants to make the roster? It could be symbolic, too, because that's what Aaron Rodgers always needs, right, is a defense, and he never gets one. Not for a minute, so... First touchdown of the season, even though it's the preseason, defensive. Trevor Siemian. Let's see. 37 yards. Day of his age. 40. Okay. Patriots. Titans went up on the Eagles. Tannehill with 2 touchdowns. Ferkser. Ferkser, what was his name? Anthony Ferkser. February 19th. Oops. 70 days. Remember, Tannehill has a nice alignment today with his birthday. "41 days from his birthday, his first touchdown drive was 41 yards, and his name equals 41. So, it makes me wonder if he's going to end up being the QB there. He throws the ball better than Mariota, that's for sure. Okay. Falcons scored again. Ravens added on to their lead. Good. All right, Texans came back and scored. All right, there's been some scoring to keep up with here. What did I just say? Jets, Giants, Redskins, Falcons scored. Another rushing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. Ito Smith had that first one. E. Hill with the second. What was his name? Oh my God, this guy has a... Do you guys remember what the Ito guy's birthday is? September 11th, and this guy's birthday is November 9th. And again, Falcons is 119. This is hilarious. Oh my God. Isn't it just a joke how they do it? And again, Dan Quinn's birthday is September 11th. The year they went to the Super Bowl, that was the first Sunday of the season. Oh my God. So these two guys got the perfect birthdays. Okay, I see what's going on with the Falcons running back situation. Panthers and Bears. Got a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. So this is the second time Ron Rivera's faced his former team he played for in the preseason while coaching the Panthers. He won the first one, but that game was in Carolina. So see what happens here tonight with that. Will Greer, born on the 93rd day of the year. 93. Wait a minute, I'm tripping. That's not the touchdown, it's an interception. How'd they get their touchdown? Oh, maybe they're field goals. Field goals? Yeah, 2 for 2 with the field goals, okay. Alright, D. Montgomery. So Daniel Montgomery, June 7th. 62 days after his birthday. David Montgomery. Montgomery's 55. So he's got the 55 date numerology. And Chicago Bears, is that 55? Yeah, Chicago Bears is 55 too, okay. Chicago Chicago Bears, 55. So it makes sense he'd score their first points of the season. Guy with the 55 connection. All right. Texans, Packers. How'd the Texans score? Davy Crockett. How do you say his name? Tamara? Crockett. Let's see. December 22nd. $229 days, 50th prime. Texans. 136, span of 137 days to his birthday. What numbers he wear? Number 36. Well, he's the first guy I don't see really any clear riddle with. I'm not seeing whatever it is. Packers just scored again. Kaiser got a touchdown. So both the Notre Dame guys have scored. How many days is it from the Notre Dame fire to today? 115 days or a span of 116. I don't know about that. Packers. Oh, Packers is 116. You know what? That's actually really interesting. So today's a span of 116 days from the Notre Dame fire, and Packers is 116. And you got both Notre Dame guys scoring to start. There's something up with that. There's definitely something up with that. I'm going to have to go back and think about that shooting. Again, that shooting was connected to this whole thing too. That May 15th shooting story. The guy in the Aaron Rodgers jersey shooting the, I forget what they said, fireman, and then J.J. Watt donated the money. Covered that earlier. It was on the 135th day of the year. Aaron Rodgers equals 135. The shooter was wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey, and the man who died, his name equaled 135. But how's that factor into this Notre Dame, or does it? Today is a span of 116 days from the Notre Dame fire, April 15th. Packers equals 116. Notre Dame is 41 like Green Bay as well. How many days is the fire to the Super Bowl? $293, or a span of 42 weeks. I don't think 293 is prime. Let me check. Never mind, it's the 62nd prime number. The Super Bowl's 62 days after Aaron Rodgers' birthday, or his 63rd day of his age. Aaron Rodgers is 63. What would fire have to... Mason's 62, but... Or would it be 62? Well, the Masons are big in France. From the fire to the Super Bowl is 293 days, 62nd prime. Super Bowl is 62 days after Rodgers' birthday. Super Bowl is also on 63rd day of Rodgers' age. Aaron Rodgers is 63. Yeah, something's going on here with this. This stuff is not an accident. How perfect this ritual is with the first guy scoring. He's got this Catholic name. Remember, Pope Francis is going to turn 83 years old this year. Pope Francis turns 83. Football's 83. Last year, on the day he turned 82, the Saints became 8-2. It was a Monday night football game. Saints equals 82. They became 8-2 on Pope Francis's 82nd birthday. See, when that happened, that's when all the people saying I was wrong about Patriots and Rams and it was going to be Saints, you guys really started to, I started to think maybe you were right, because that was like the turning point for me when they became 8-2 on the Pope's 82nd birthday. But for the man who won huge, because there was one guy who called me up while he's in Vegas, he's like, you got to give me the right outcome. I said, all right, well, if I'm betting today, I'm betting on Patriots over Rams. And he won a bundle. And he lost a lot of it on the Tiger Woods Grand Slam riddle, but he's still way ahead. But okay, Pope Francis, I got to start thinking about this. There's something going on here. Okay, Pope Francis's birthday is December 17th. 47 days. Francis is 47. That is his birthday, right? I'm pretty sure it's December 17th. Structure. France is also 47. God, could it be the Packers? The Saints have such a good riddle this year. Maybe the Packers, God, could end up being like a Packers-Saints NFC championship. All right, let me think. Notre Dame had a good football season last year, didn't they? Real good season, didn't they? I remember 12-1. Remember Syracuse had a nice alignment to beat them, but they got their asses kicked. Okay. 12-1, revelation number. All right. So, good comment in the chat. He says, Drew has been a good Saint and yes man for the league for way too long or not to have a chip. So remember, I'm huge on the Saints this year, and just like for the same reason I really like Tom Brady to win a Super Bowl last year. Drew Brees does have a chip, by the way. He won Super Bowl 44, so he does have a Super Bowl. But Super Bowl 44 is where he won. That was 9 years ago. So when the Super Bowl was around, it'd be 10 years. But remember, the Super Bowl number is 41. Tom Brady was 41 when he won it last year. The Eagles, when they won the year before, they won with 41 points. Number that always shows up around the Super Bowl, especially if you follow the stats during the game. But this year, Drew Brees is going to turn 41 years old, 19 days before the Super Bowl. Saints is 19. It's going to be the 2019 season. Yeah, it concludes in 2020, but it's still the 2019 season. And remember, New Orleans is 54. Drew Brees is 54. So he's got that's the strongest riddle I've seen, just going off what we typically go off of. But there is something going on here with this Packers thing and Aaron Rodgers alignment, and this whole Catholic thing that's going on this game. There is obviously something going on. So, but again, this is why we're keeping tabs. This is why we're analyzing. And let me see. Field goal. So Jets took the lead at halftime. Remember, Jets are one of the teams with the 54 connection. Bills are one of the teams with the 54 connection. So look at our 54 teams tonight. Bills, 54. And their first touchdown was a big 54 ritual. So Bills 54, they're up at halftime. Well, it's third quarter now. Jets, looks like they'll probably have the lead going into halftime. We'll have to see. But Jets 54. The Titans are a 54 team. Tennessee Titans 54. They're up at halftime. And Russell Wilson's probably not going to play. Russell Wilson's 54. But that's not the team name. Saints are 54. What am I missing? Did I miss a 54 team there? Bills, Jets. Do the Redskins have a 54 connection? They actually might. The Redskins do have a 54 connection. They're down at halftime. So, okay, the Redskins are the 54 team that's down. And that's the only one, though. The Ravens, again, are going for 14 straight wins in the preseason. We see so many streaks go to 14 and end there. The word end is 14 in the most pure cipher. And again, they're playing Jacksonville tonight. Jacksonville's 43, the 14th prime. All right. Are you saying Drew Brees has an 8-year-old child? 19's the 8th prime if you are. It's funny you bring up Lil Wayne in light of us talking about the Catholics. You know what day Lil Wayne's born on? Lil Wayne's birthday is September 27th, the Jesuit birthday. And he's been used in some bizarre rituals before, the passing out and seizure stuff. His birthday is September 27th, Jesuit birthday. Just like Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank's birthday is September 27th, the guy who runs the Falcons. Super Bowl 51 was a span of 51 days from Pope Francis's birthday, and he blessed that Super Bowl. I think that's the only time the Pope ever blessed the Super Bowl. And if you remember, Pope Francis came out and said that people need to support sports worldwide. God, I need to go back and look at that. He said people need to support... What word did he use to describe sports? Support sports from being corrupted or something like that. I was like, listen to this crap. Yeah, sports aren't corrupted. Okay, thanks, Pope. You can go back to bed. The reason the Chargers are interesting to me this year is because of Drew Brees. Because that's Drew Brees' old team, you know. So... Yeah. The if it was all about Drew Brees this year, I mean that would be putting it right in front of people's faces. A Saints Chargers Super Bowl. The Chargers aren't to be taken lightly, you know. So You guys, I said I was gonna do this until 7 p.m. And what's really weird, I don't mean to make excuses. When I was younger, I had vertigo, and it went away. And for whatever reason, I woke up with vertigo today, and I've been dealing with it. It's not so bad when I'm sitting down, but my head is still like a little bit funny today. So I have tinnitus in my ear. If you don't know, it rings all the time. And when I got that, the doctor told me I'd probably have vertigo fits throughout my life, but I haven't had it for a long time, probably close to 10 years. But for whatever reason, I've had it today, and it's annoying. Whenever you get up or sit down, it hits you. But anyway, I got to do an interview tonight, and I just kind of want to chill out for a little bit since my head's not doing the best today. So I think we grabbed some great clues tonight, and I'm gonna analyze when things are over. Again, what we're doing in real time, I can always go back and do afterwards too, because if you're not aware, if you want to go back and look at like the scoring for any game, you know, when you get in like the box score, you got these options up here: play-by-play, team stats. You can just separate the scoring drives, and you get everything: how much time was on the clock, the distance of the play. So for the games that haven't started, I will do it, but kind of just want to chill out so I don't kill myself, because I've been going hard on the finishing up the football notes decode, which I will get done. I'm very close. It's a ton of work, and it's gonna be so useful this year. I know we're gonna dominate football this year, but I think some of you might have jumped on this this game right here. So hopefully things stay where they're at. Donovan McNabb, Warren Moon, Jim Kelly. Oh my God, is there another? Yeah, I haven't gotten off yet, but I'm going to get off here in a minute.
Should I tell you over the air? So, okay, I got a response back from somebody in the media, the local news media here, that wants me to contact them. But I wanted you to be on the phone with me when I do. Can you do that?
Sure. You want to do it real quick?
You mean now, while you live on your show?
Well, what I want to do real quick is
wrap up first, and then call me back, and I'll call him, because he wants me to call like the news desk and ask for him. I got his personal cell phone number. He must not remember me. I picked him up before. That's how I got his personal number. But he responded via Twitter back to like the minute I posted what I posted. So, because I told him, my post was, about cognitive dissonance, the definition. And I said, you know who the people are that can't afford to have this condition? Journalists. And I tagged him and another local reporter that I spoke with at training camp. And he responded back within minutes. So he wants me to call the news desk, ask for him.
Well, here, let's do it on the live stream, because it might be interesting if we capture something interesting. I think that's perfect to do it that way.
All right, Zach, here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'm not going to say anything until you chime me in.
Okay, I got you. Hold on. Hello.
Hi, this is WLWT.
Mike Dardis, please.
May I ask who's calling?
Tell him King Fibonacci.
I can transfer you to his voicemail. 1 second.
I guess we're going to have to call back a second time, and I got to use my real name. He knows me by King Fibonacci because that's what he responded to on Twitter.
Hi, you've reached Mike Dardis in the WLWT News Department. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as I can. Thanks a lot for calling WLWT.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Mike, this is Dennis Whitehead, a.k.a. King Fibonacci. You responded to me. I called you last night on your cell. Same guy. I'm going to try and call the news desk again. So hopefully you're not on the news desk, but I'll call again. Hold on. Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try again. Hold on.
Hey there.
Hey, Mike. This is Dennis.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. So tell me what you mean by that. Are you talking to me? Like about, what was the comment?
Well, I was directed towards you because you're the only journalist that I know, personally, so to speak. I met Joe Denneman down at training camp the day before yesterday and spoke to him
Gotcha.
about what I've come into knowledge of.
Okay.
And, I don't know if you scroll through my page or any of my other social media pages as King Fibonacci, but I've come across this knowledge, this language called Gematria.
Okay.
And you know what I do. You know I handicap sports.
Gotcha. I didn't know who this was, and so I read it wrong. I thought you were calling me out for not being for being biased or something. I didn't know what you meant. Okay.
No, it wasn't that. I couldn't think of a better way to get your attention because I called your phone last night. I couldn't think of a better way to get your attention or Joe's attention. Plus, I missed practice today because I was going to go talk to him today and ask him did he do his homework because he said he was going to follow me. I told him about a man named Zachary K. Hubbard and how he was the one to reveal this knowledge, this language to the masses. And,
okay.
I've known him for the past, 3 months now. And I'm one of those people that do not have cognitive dissonance. I was able to somehow understand what I was looking at, not fully master it, but I was able to understand what I was looking at. And my knowledge as a professional sports handicapper, combined with that knowledge, I was able to do something in more than one instance since I've known Zachary K. Hubbard.
Okay.
It's been documented. And in those instances, I was able to predict things that were going to happen in the future. And how I got my, claim to fame, if you will, when I first met Zach, he, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about him. He is the most accurate predictor of calling sports championships in the history of mankind. He's been doing this the last 6 years straight.
Okay.
Not only does he decode sports, if you will, using this language, he decodes the news. From all over the world, right? And so he has a live sports decode every single day on Patreon. I signed up for his Patreon. I got his book. He's also an author. He's really known as an author by people that I know. And I bought his book. I signed up for the Patreon. I listened into the live stream, and I ended up calling. He lists his number. He has callers call in, and I called him. He gave his take on the Golden State Warriors winning the NBA Finals and the Boston Bruins winning the NHL Stanley Cup.
Okay.
I told him he was wrong in those picks. He should go the other way. And I told him how the Toronto Raptors would win. We were in agreement that the NBA Finals would go 7 games, and then I want to say a couple days before Game 6, I came off of that, and I said it's going to end Game 6. I said that because I told him prior to that the St. Louis Blues was going to win the Stanley Cup in Boston in Game 7, and they did.
So are you trying to get Joe or somebody to do a story? Is that what you're saying?
I really didn't think this through, but yes, I guess to answer your question, yes. To kind of speed things up, because I don't know if you necessarily, following everything that I'm saying, and I may have left some stuff out. I actually have Zach on the phone. Zach, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Zachary K. Hubbard, Mike Dardis, Zachary K. Hubbard.
How you doing?
Doing well. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, so this was just spontaneous. He just called me up and said that he had a contact and wanted to talk to somebody in the media. And he is right. I've been doing this work for a number of years. If you go on your computer right now and type in Zachary K. Hubbard USA Today, you'll see an article was written about me January of 2016 by Bleacher Report. Pretty long article. They were kind of making fun of me, but at the same time acknowledging my work. In that season, I had shown why the Super Bowl would be the Broncos over the Carolina Panthers in October, why Von Miller would be the MVP of that Super Bowl, and why there would be a Black Panther tribute at the game, which of course there was through the halftime show. Beyonce was criticized for dressing up as a Black Panther. And for people who know history, they know that Huey P. Newton established the Black Panther Party in the Bay Area, and Cam Newton with the Black Panther on the side of his helmet appearing in the Super Bowl in the Bay Area where San Francisco was. It was just too obvious, plus a number of other things. Plus Cam Newton and Von Miller were drafted back-to-back. So anyway, that was the first time I ever got any acknowledgement from the media. The next time was Vice Sports wrote an article about me after the 113th World Series, because in September, end of August that season, I narrowed it down. I said the World Series will be the Houston Astros defeating the Dodgers, and I showed what it had to do with an old Sports Illustrated article, and also the flooding in Houston and Matt Harvey being the first pitcher in town after Hurricane Harvey. So anyway, over the years, I've been very successful at calling championships. And where I do miss, it'll be like the Warriors championship. I thought the Warriors would win the championship this last year because it was the 73rd NBA season. You got Steph Curry born on the 73rd day of the year. I called before the playoffs began. I said I liked the Warriors and the Blazers to meet in the Western Conference Finals because Curry brothers equals 73. In this language of Gematria, things are coded. So anyway,
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Please.
I have to do the 10 o'clock news in 22 minutes, and this is not the best time for me to go over all of this, but I've written down the two, the USA Today article from 2016 and the Bleacher Report. Is there a way? Let me get back in touch with you through him, and maybe have. This is more for. I'm a news anchor. I'm thinking this is more up to the alley of our sports team. You know what I mean?
Sure. He just said he had you as a contact and you were interested, so I was happy to talk to the media. But
Gotcha. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. It's interesting as hell. I've always been into that kind of thing, but I just have to run upstairs and tape a promo for the 11 o'clock news, and I have to do the 10 o'clock show, and I can't right now. I can't really sit down and kind of bite into this.
Yeah, no problem. No, I totally get it. So yeah, thanks for listening.
But you got it. Yeah, go ahead.
So. Should I call you? What time should I call you, Mike?
Well, I don't know if I can do anything with it, but just can you email me, and I'll get you over to the sports department, George and Brandon Sahel and these guys. It's an interesting thing.
I'll text you because I still got your personal number. I'll text you my email address.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Mike. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I appreciate you hooking that up. But yeah, just next time you get in contact, you know my number.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's like perfect timing because, hold on, something came through to my phone, and I think it was Joe Denneman. He's actually the sports guy and the beat writer for the Bengals. And he's on TV, it's on Fox 19. Hold on, I saw something, here it is. He said, I call it cognitive realism. You will never convince me Kevin Durant sacrificed a year of his playing career to fit a WWE like pre-written script. Now, this is what he responded to on Twitter that everybody could see.
Well, I'd love to have that public debate because we can talk about how much money he's making to just sit on his ass and who wouldn't take that check. So, anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't give, I don't think, let me open this up because I was going to say we could call dude if he gave a way to respond, call me to call him.
All right. Well, we can do it later, man, because I do want to rest up, like I was saying, man. My head's not doing the best today, so.
Okay.
All right. Do appreciate it, though. Take care, man.
Sure.
All right. Have a good night. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Somebody in the media who listens. Well, things are looking good for Jacksonville losing. Things are looking good for the Ravens getting that 14th straight playoff win again. Just put another notch in there for another team going to 14. And then that'll probably be a good sign that the Ravens will lose next week too. So let's see who they play next week. I forget. The Packers, huh? Okay. Well, we definitely seen some interesting things today. Sam Darnold came out with the perfect ritual. The Bills had a nice 54 ritual with their first touchdown. Baker Mayfield came out with sharp drive, 77 yards to put up 7 points. Patriots are spanking Matt Patricia's Lions. And yeah, the clearest riddle, if there was one, was just the Ravens winning 14 straight. It's hard to do the preseason because there's not a lot to go off of. So glad to hear the Atlanta callers probably going to win something on that unless we're putting the super jinx on it. And this Packers thing needs more studying. There's something going on here with the Notre Dame player scoring the first 2 touchdowns. The perfect ritual, tribute to 154 in that first touchdown. And then this seemingly being synced up with the Notre Dame fire as well. So, if you're looking at the Packers season schedule, measure from April 15th as you look at games. And, again, because that's the day of that fire. So, 2 Notre Dame players with the first 2 touchdowns. And, by the way, 54, now that I'm thinking about it, Jesuit orders 54. And we talk about how Pope Francis, the first publicly Jesuit pope's going to turn 83 this year, football 83. So, the more I think about it, the more it's making sense. Okay, I will finish analyzing these other games. Keep your eye on this Broncos-Seahawks game, too. Again, 2014 days, a span of 2014 days from the Super Bowl between these teams, which was in 2014. So there's definitely something up with that. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit early. I wasn't planning on the vertigo today. I hope tomorrow it's gone, but yeah, I jinxed myself yesterday because on my radio show I was talking about how I haven't had very many headaches for the last 3 weeks, and then today I got vertigo back. So life is strange. All right, Truth Seeker. See you tomorrow morning, and hopefully you got something out of this. I learned a few things, so until next time.